guys. We think we're live, like all fingers crossed when it comes to tech, especially when you have rural internet, which both Carrie and I do. And probably a lot of you who are watching us also has rural internet, would be my guess. So I'm just kind of double checking all of the places. And yes, we are streaming live on YouTube. So all is well. I wanted to double check that.
Yay!
Yeah, I know. Yay. Well, welcome everybody. We are super excited to have you here for the first day of the premiere of season 2, episode 1 of the Homestead documentary. So I see a lot of you guys are jumping in here and joining us, and a lot of you have been telling us where you're from. Lori from North Georgia, John from Bulgaria. Shout out to Sharon. I see some homes. I'm Washington State. I'm Melissa, by the way, which we will introduce ourselves. We just got so excited seeing everybody. So, hey, Sharon from Auburn, some South Carolina. So, really excited to see everybody. Christine, Aaron, Ashley, a lot of folks are on here. Yay. So, we're really excited. So, we are going to get started with our full live here just shortly. But if we have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Melissa K. Norris. And we are so excited to have you here. Just real briefly, I'm a 5th generation homesteader and have been teaching homesteading online and educating for, over 10 years now, a very long time. So I recognize actually some of your names and some of you may know me, but we have had so much interest in this that we've got a lot of people that I've never met before. So welcome. It's so much fun to meet fellow homesteaders and those who are interested in homesteading. So welcome to the community if we've not had a chance to meet yet. And then Carrie is I came on board for season 2 after discovering all the wonderful stuff that Carrie was doing. But Carrie is actually the founder of the Homestead documentary, and Carrie is the one that has really gotten this project up and off the ground. I got to have the lucky part of just coming in and helping give it some wings and bring it to more people. So I would love to introduce Carrie. I know you guys, some of you have gotten our emails, and so you've learned a little bit about our story. But anyways, Carrie, would love for you to share just briefly with everybody, and then we'll get going. We've got a lot of fun things planned for today's live chat. So hey, Carrie.
We have. Well, thanks, Melissa. And yes, it's awesome to see everyone here. I was just seeing the people from Idaho and Iowa, which next to me. My geography of the USA is still in learning because, as you can tell by my accent, those of you who haven't met me, I'm an immigrant. I was transplanted into Missouri a couple of years ago. When I came over to the Midwest with my husband. This is his heartland. And so in an attempt to fully embrace the farm life, and we are really sort of in a little spot surrounded by fields and fields of agriculture, then we sort of started our homestead. And it was really my desire to want to connect with other people who were homesteading, and there wasn't a lot of that around me. So it was through getting online, and of course some of you guys who have been with the project from the beginning have sort of like seen this kind of develop through the community, and it's just been wonderful to see it gather speed. I've had some ups and downs, and those of you who have sort of been along on the journey will know some of the hoops we've had to jump through. But then joining forces with Melissa last year was just amazing, because we were able to bring together a product, and then Melissa's sort of wealth of knowledge and just sort of connection in the homesteading world as it is, and really sort of like bring it to where it is now. So we're so excited. It sort of feels like it's just, I can't believe that it's actually here and it's actually happening. And to see so many people getting behind the project has been super encouraging and really inspiring too.
Yeah, we're really excited. So every day we will be sharing with you guys how many people are signed up to watch the premiere, because it does my heart good to know how many people are looking into this way of life, no matter if you are in an apartment in the city, because homesteading is really a state of mind first. It doesn't matter your location. It's doing what you can with what you have with where you are right now. And so we're just really encouraged to see so many people are picking that mantra up for 2023 and moving down this way. So as of this morning, we have over 15,000 people signed up for the premiere. So if any of you experience any tech difficulties, that is why our servers got a little overloaded this morning with people trying to watch everything. And so some of you may have gotten some errors to some different links. And so we're working right now with the tech team. And Carrie and I are the tech team. We have to actually go to people to help us when it goes beyond our level. So Carrie and I and Hafsa, who we're going to bring on shortly, and you got to see her if you watched episode 1 already this morning, are the people who are in answering all of your emails and responding and then going and investigating when you've reported things that may not have been working. So thank you, one, for letting us know if something's not working, but thank you too really much for your patience, because this is very much just, I mean, it's just Carrie and me and Half says we don't have a big team. We literally have bootstrapped this whole thing together. So we appreciate your patience. We appreciate your kindness, and rest assured, because we are homesteaders, we will get it done and we will get anything fixed if it's not working properly. But it might take just a little bit of time as we're working through that. So thank you so much for that. And the good news is that every day, Monday through Friday, a new episode will be listed and will come to you in an email link that morning. And they're available to watch. So the episode 1 that went live today, you'll be able to watch all of them through next Monday. So Monday the 16th is when all of the episodes will come down from the free viewing portion, but you'll be able to watch them all the way through the weekend, as well as these lives. But you do have to be on the lives live in order to win the giveaways. And we have some really fun and really cool giveaway bundles and packages coming up. We're going to do them every day this week, all the way Monday through Friday. We're going to do these lives as well. So some really fun things coming your way with that, but you do have to be on live in order to win the giveaway. But these will also be up on the YouTube channel after we're done being live. So you'll be able to watch those at any time as well. So there's obviously the comment section. We love seeing your guys' comments come through, and that is where and how we're going to pick the giveaway winners. But before we get there, we are going to be bringing on Hafsa, and she was one of our feature homesteaders in today's episode. So let us know in the comments if you had a chance to watch episode 1 already today. So we'd love to see that, and what one of your favorite things are that you learned or saw or were inspired by in the episode from today. So let us know there. And lots of you guys are still joining us, which is really fun. Diana, you got my preserving book in the mail today. Oh, well, yay. I'm glad that came. Thank you. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring Hafsa on screen. There she is.
Hi there.
Hey. Okay.
Thank you for inviting me to be on this live today.
Yeah, thank you for all of your time and being part of it. We're really excited. So one of the things, I thought this was really fun because we are at the first of the year, and I know a lot of people will make, resolutions or different things the first of the year, and a lot of times those don't tend to last very long. However, when they're homestead goals more than resolutions, I don't know about you guys, but I find I usually figure out a way to get those done. And so when how long has it actually been since your episode was filmed? Because there's always, with production and everything, there's always that time lapse. So how long has it been since when people saw your homestead to today?
It was 2 years ago, the first round.
Wow.
And then I sent in some updates a year ago because we had some big changes in the last year.
Yeah. So
it's amazing
what I would love
that
to,
it's been that long.
It has been,
Yeah,
I know.
it's been a while.
Production, definitely. I always remember thinking, like, when like you'd see a movie being filmed or maybe a television show or something like that, and you would see and it would take so long. And I'm like, I don't understand why it takes so long. And I'm like, oh goodness, I understand now why it takes so long, having been a part of it. But I would love to know, so what is something in 2023 that you're really excited about for your homestead?
So we have some even bigger goals. I'm planning on going back to school to become a veterinarian and we're going to be moving our homestead again because the school's a few hours from us. So we're going to be looking for a larger plot of land to build out a long-term homestead on. And everything that I've been doing with teaching about raising chickens, one of the things that comes up the most is health. How do you take care of them? And being a veterinarian is something I always wanted to do. And now it's the right time to actually do it. And it goes perfectly with what I've already been doing on social media and teaching this. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, you
That's
should be.
amazing.
That is a huge undertaking.
I know.
Yeah.
If
I'm
anyone can do it,
impressed.
Hapsa can do it though. You're such a go-getter. And it's like that is such the sort of the homestead ethos, isn't it? Like, you know, we're just going to get after it and chase the stars. So I wish you all the best with that. It's fantastic. And then I'll be sending you all my veterinary questions. Okay. So.
Yeah, I'll definitely be creating something online because that's the one thing people ask, like, how do they take care of their farm animals, especially? And it's really difficult for a lot of people to find those resources sometimes. So
Yeah. No, it is. And vets,
one of the things.
Go ahead, Carrie.
Sorry, I was going to say one of the things that I loved about your story, Hafsa, was your vulnerability and sharing sort of what got you into homesteading, not to sort of like go back too much over, you know, because I know everybody has watched today. And for those who haven't seen it today yet, but just joining for the live, because I saw a few people saying they were going to watch tonight, I don't want to give it away. But you have a very emotional reason for getting into homesteading. And I think that really when we get into homesteading because of like that, you know, heartfelt motivation, it just kind of propels us into things that we never maybe imagined that we'd be doing and can really sort of like change your life. And I think that's what a lot of people sort of have, these different motivations for getting into homesteading, because it's coming from health or loss or struggle or just wanting, you know, that life change. And I think that is one of the things that the stories, watching the stories of other people and how they've done it and what it looks like for them is really, you know, it's tangible, right? Because we can see homesteaders out there doing their thing, but it's kind of like, well, how did they do it? How did they get started? What did it look like for them? Because everyone's family dynamic is different. So thank you for sharing, you know, your personal story and sort of being vulnerable with the audience. I think that's really what helps us connect with each other and to sort of link arms together as a community.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Carrie and Melissa.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so important. One of the comments Brooke said, please become a livestock and poultry veterinarian. There is a huge demand for them. And I agreed. What a lot of people, I don't think, realize, I know my mother-in-law doesn't, because she doesn't have livestock. She just has dogs and cats. And so we actually had to have the vet out to our place twice this past week. We had some issues with our dairy cow. And my mother-in-law was like, well, aren't you just, because I was telling her like how long it was going to take the vet to get here because there's only one and we live so far out. And she's like, well, there's lots of vet clinics. Like, why aren't you using the one that's just, you know, the closest one? And I said, no. Those are not large animal veterinarians. They only do household pets. So Brooke makes an amazing point. That if you're not aware of that, a lot of people who are just getting into homesteading don't realize that. Like, you'll see, you know, whatever vet clinic, not realizing that it's just for domestic pets. It's not really for animals, and especially large livestock if you've got horses or cattle or some of those larger ones. And so that is something you definitely want to also have on hand ahead of time, like call and ask those vets and the offices around you what they treat, and to make sure that they do treat your livestock, because hopefully you don't ever need the vet. But if you homestead long enough, inevitably will come a time that you do. And it's never when it's convenient. And it's usually kind of dire emergency situations where you're going to want to know what vet to call, that they do service the type of animal that you have and that you can get them, you know, out there right away. It's not something you want to have to be finding and calling multiple offices to find out when you just need to get them there right away to help your animal. And a lot of them will also they're so wonderful. They'll give so much advice over the phone and do as much as they can even before having to come out. So I'm excited that you're walking down this path to vets, Hafsa, because when we have livestock, they are a wonderful thing to have in access to when needed.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of it can also be taken care of with preventive measures too, which I share inside the resources part of the full documentary. So that's also a big part of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, we have more questions for Homestead. We're sure you guys are going to want to hear the answer to them as well. And to continue the discussion, I'm loving reading everything that everybody's sharing in the chat there. But we have some giveaways that we promised. We've got some really awesome prizes. So Carrie is going to show us the first giveaway, all of the items that are in the first giveaway bundle, and then we'll tell you how to enter if you want to be able to win said items.
So I have had an amazing amount of product on my shelf given by sponsors of the documentary and some of the collaborators. And I'm so looking forward to sending it out because it's been taking so much space up. But no, I'm really excited for you guys to get your hands on this. Did you need to give instructions first, Melissa, about how they get their hands on, or do you just want me to go through what's
just
in
go
the bag
through it
first?
and then we'll give instructions, because I'm
Okay.
pretty sure everybody's going to want to enter to win it once they see all that's in there. But just in case someone's like, no, I'm okay, then we'll wait so that they can see if they want to enter or not.
So we've got 10 bag bundles, like swag bags, and inside they're not all the same, but I'm going to show you like what's in, and then there's sort of like bundles of all of them. So this is a farm made cookbook, and in here, actually, Melissa, are you in here? I know that there's a lot of homesteaders.
I'm not in that
here.
one. No,
I know Jill from the Prairie Homesteaders in here. We got in here. There's a lot of other homesteads in here who have submitted recipes, and Farm Made, who are one of the sponsors of the documentary, put together 75 homemade breads, jams, pies, and more. It's a fantastic cookbook. This is actually my copy. The other ones are all in brown envelopes, which I didn't want to open. So there are those books. We have got soaps from Blackberry Hill Farm and from Wockenfuss Family Farm. Some bags have got both in, some have got one or the other. Handmade soaps. Liz is in season 2 sharing how she does her soap, and then Melanie from Wockenfuss Family Farm is in season 1 sharing how she does her soap, and they both made in quite a different way. But what I love about, not one superior over the other, they both smell divine and they're all different recipes, but Mel intrigued me with how she makes her soap, because she uses the lard from the pigs that she breeds to make the soap like super creamy and gives it an amazing lather. So there's loads of soap for you guys. We have got Twin Creeks Farm. She makes handmade healing balms, which have calendula, beeswax, lavender, and tea tree. And she says it's great for, cuts or abrasions on your skin. I'm trying to think which episode it is, but Ma from Windborne Farms makes these 100% pure beeswax candles. I'm trying to show you. She does them in all kinds of different molds, and she did all little piggies. This, if you watch season 2, I think they're in one of the later episodes. There is a particular quality to burning beeswax, and we actually had a live with Ma a couple of days ago on Instagram about why beeswax is superior to paraffin wax or even soy wax, and beeswax is extremely expensive. So there are candles in there for you guys. We've got beeswax wraps from Nikki at Five Dog Farm. I'm sure most of you know about beeswax wraps being an amazing alternative to using cling wrap or plastics for keeping your food and sandwiches fresh in the fridge. They're reusable. Nikki is in season 2 as well, and she shares how you can make your own beeswax wraps. But of course, she sells them in her shop too. Then we have got, oh goodness, we've got seeds galore. Halden Garden, one of our sponsors, has given all different types of seeds. This is a full seed set, and I think there's like 8 or 10 packs in each. There might be more than that. They've got herb sets, there's fall sets, there's edible flower sets, there's vegetable sets, there's flower sets. So there's different sets in each bag. And then we've got some really cool t-shirts. This one is from they're in episode 5, which you'll see on Friday, from Lico Honey. They're a 4th or 5th generation beekeepers. They've sent t-shirts. We've got t-shirts from Grow Build Raise. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then Heather from Modern Mini Homestead And again, I'm not going to unwrap them, but she makes these little plant pots, handmade pottery ceramics. So those are in there. Oh, I'm seeing more and more things. This I'll share. There might be some things that I've missed, but then Janet at Timber Creek Farm has also put these little gift packs together, which have some of her seeds in and samples of her yarn that she does farm fibers, natural farm fiber, and she dyes them herself, which is also shared in season 2. So there is so much good stuff in these bags. I'm gonna have to repack them now. So I'll hand you back, Melissa.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure after seeing all of those amazing things that probably everybody would like to enter the giveaway. So if you want to enter the giveaway, we're going to do 2 giveaways today. So there'll be 2 bundles. So we'll have 2 people who will win. So to enter the giveaway, all you need to do is in the chat, in the comment section right now, is type the words, I want the season 1 and 2 special bundle. So just, I want the season 1 and season 2 special bundle. And we'll know when we see that comment that you want to be entered into the giveaway. So go ahead and comment that, I want season 1 and 2 special bundle to enter the giveaway. And then, we are going to ask Hafsa a question, and she's going to answer the question, I should say. So that'll give you time, everybody, to go in there and to make that comment to enter the giveaway, and then we'll pull that from there. And then you do have to be on live to win. So after Hafsa is asked and then can answer this next question, we'll go ahead and announce the first winner and what you need to do and actually to claim your prize. And then we'll have some time and then we'll announce the second winner. So if you want to be entered to win the giveaway of all those amazing prizes, type in the chat, I want season 1 and 2 special bundle. So while you guys are doing that, we have a second question for Hafsa. And Hafsa, what is one thing that you wished you had known before starting homesteading?
It's a journey. It's not something that you do once and it's just done. It's a journey. It's something that it grows on you. You continue to have projects in a good way. Naturally, you don't obviously want to overwhelm yourself, but there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to do. And once you finish a project, 5 more will come up in your head and you're like, oh, I want to do these 5 new things. And it's important to pace yourself part of that journey and not overwhelm yourself. It's very easy to say, I'm going to do these 10 things this year. And then at the end of the year, maybe you got done 5 and you're kind of beating yourself up about it. But it's important to actually like take it in what you did do and be happy with what you got done and know that, hey, it's a journey. You have next year to get to those other 5 things on those lists.
I love that because as someone who's been homesteading for a couple of decades, there is still so much on my bucket list. Like it feels like you would think after 20 years that you have kind of, chipped away at it. I mean, we have added a lot, but I don't know about, there's still so much. Like I'll get one thing and then it's like that little rabbit's path. It ends up opening up like, oh, well, now that I know this, now I need to do this, this, and this, and this. And so I love your advice because there's always so many things with homesteading that we want to be doing. And it's the long haul journey pacing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think to add to that as well, Melissa, that knowing or having that mindset that this is a journey, I think helps you to stay away from that comparison syndrome. I remember like when we got started in our first year, I was like, I don't want a temporary chicken coop. I want it to look like this one on Pinterest, and not sort of like thinking, actually, those people might have been homesteading for 10 years already, and they started with the one that looks like the bomb shelter, and then they've moved it several times. Because the other thing is that you do like want to move things around, I didn't want to listen to anybody, and so I built a chicken coop that I thought was going to be our forever chicken coop, get it right the first time. What are we doing next summer? We're going to be moving the chicken coop. So I think having that mindset of it is a journey allows you a little bit less stress, and a little bit more giving yourself grace, really, just to kind of enjoy the journey. Otherwise, you're like, got to get it done, go, go, go. And, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and I'm going to scratch the belly of my hairy bull because I want to enjoy this. I don't want to just be constantly rushing and on the go. So it's a really good piece of advice, Hafsa.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it is. Okay. Well, our goal was to keep this live to 30 minutes, but we also wanted to have some time for some Q&As as well. So we may go a little bit over because there's only 5 minutes left for the half an hour mark, and we have to announce our winners and all that fun stuff. So Hafsa, are you good to stay on here for a little bit
Yes.
longer with us?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So first winner that we're picking for the giveaway is Pip Oates. So Pip, please email.
Congrats.
Yeah, email info@homesteaddocumentary.com. That's info at homesteading documentary. Oh my gosh, words are not coming out. Words are hard. Email info@homesteaddocumentary.com. No ing. Info@homesteaddocumentary.com and put giveaway day 1 prize winner in the subject. And then let us know your shipping address so that we can get that mailed out to you. So Pip, shoot us that info in the email and do it now, because if you don't send us that email in the next 5 minutes, we're going to pick someone else to take the prize. So Pip Oates, get those fingers flying, my friend, and send us that email.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are going to do some Q&A time, and then we'll announce the second winner. And if we need to pick a third winner, we'll see if Pip has emailed us or not. So there's been some great questions that have came through. And I'll try to remember tomorrow to tell y'all to hold your questions like that towards the end so that, because the chat, there's so many of you on here, it's kind of hard to go back through the chat. But one of the ones that I saw that just came through really recently, and I think this is a really great question, and it goes in tandem and hand in hand with some of the stuff that was done in episode 1 today. And that is dealing with predators of turkeys and geese, etc. She says, I think it's she, sorry if I have it wrong from your handle name, but we have chickens fenced in and we move their runs, but the other fowl seem to need range to flourish.
So what you could do is you could put poultry netting above on the field, and they come in pretty big sizes. We have one that's 50 feet by 50 feet. That's giant. It's work. It takes a few people to install it. It's this giant net, but it will keep at least the aerial predators out. And then along the run and their fenced in area, hardware cloth is the best way to go. It's a little pricey to do it when you have a large area that you're covering, but it's well worth it. And I would do section by section as you can go. Those are the 2 best ways to protect any animals outside.
Yeah, I agree. Barrier protection is really good. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, Carrie. I think there's a little bit of lag. We don't realize the other person is talking. I want to say one of the options that's worked really well for our ducks, because we do like to, be able to move them easy, has been the poultry netting. And we actually have the battery. It's from Premier One Supplies. So it's run on solar. And that has worked really well for protecting our ducks. Now, we do have open. I don't have netting over the top of it. And we have had a hawk that's come through that didn't get a duck. And so that doesn't take care of necessarily the overhead predators. But as far as coyotes or neighborhood dogs or those types of things, I really like that. And it's just really easy for me to move so that I can get them on fresh pasture or different areas of the yard and in where the slugs are. That's where I really got ducks, was for slug patrol. But that can be an option too. So there's, a couple different, but I agree with you, Hafsa. Absolutely a barrier type has been the best. Carrie, you probably had another thought too.
And we have a giant field too. So I'm speaking from experience.
Right. Yeah. We hadn't thought too much about the aerial predators being on a woodland. I was like just dealing with everything that comes out the woods from the ground, because like everything in the woodland wants to eat chicken. I mean, possums and raccoons and like anything that has like 4 legs. But then after some time, we discovered, we got hawks and owls and too. And so the aerial predators were something that I wasn't as prepared for in our planning. And then actually a friend's mom who homesteads in Virginia said she uses just, so it's an overhead 1-2 but it's just a fishing line, and they run fishing lines. So apparently the hawks can see it. And so it deters them. So I guess in the same kind of fashion, instead of having like a big net, then they run fishing line. I mean, I guess, you know, it
have
might
that
not
too.
be as practical. Oh, you do?
We have that in a
Oh,
couple
I've
of
heard
our pens. The only thing is sometimes the chickens like to fly out and then they hit the thing and then they get their feet like stuck in the fishing line. That's been my one pet peeve with it. So certain breeds, the ones that like to fly a lot, you can't put that above them.
Yeah, it wouldn't work with guineas or turkeys for sure.
Yeah, we're like bantams. They're just really flighty birds. It doesn't work with them, but the netting is fine for them. The netting they won't get stuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a couple other questions that were good ones. Yogi asks, predators that like to dig. So what about the base of your fencing? I will say if you're using electric and they get shocked, they will not dig there. But then Hafsa said to the hardware cloth, but you have to put
ground.
It, yeah.
In the ground, 2 feet into the ground. It's work. You got to dig a ditch along the fence line, put the hardware cloth into the ground and then cover it up and then have it come up at least a few feet. And then the rest could be just regular fence.
Yeah, that's what we did around our main coops, so where they're shut in at night, and then we use the electric fencing sort of as the perimeter where they're ranging. So, but definitely, if you've got heavy predator pressure, having a skirt at the bottom of the coop, and with hardware cloth, it's definitely, because dogs and raccoons can chew through the chicken wire, so that doesn't necessarily keep them out.
Yeah. And I have to say, depending upon, it's really key knowing your predator, really, like in your area. And we deal more so with coyotes, honestly, like they're our biggest predator issue because we are so close to the woods and the mountains. Occasionally we'll get like a mountain lion, but it's very, very rare. And they usually go for bigger stuff. They're not coming up close to the house, kind of where we've got the poultry. And Sian from Farmhouse Tea says our dog has caught 3 to 4 opossums near the chickens. And I have to say, having a good livestock dog, that has been really key for multiple reasons on our homestead too. But it's going to be knowing, everybody's situation and what your predator pressures are, because that can vary by location, by region, like all different things. So really good. And Eleanor,
lights also at night. We use sensors.
Yeah, motion lights. We have
motion lights all around the property. So, and they're pointed at the coops and different pens. So if some large animal comes up, they'll usually get scared away by it.
Yeah. And ours are all solar because we only have so many power outlets and they have worked really great. And the battery is solar too. Eleanor was asking, the solar battery was great. And I'm going to share this just because I was a little skeptical of getting a solar battery for the poultry netting, to be honest, in the wintertime, because we're really far north. Like I'm not getting daylight until 8 o'clock in the morning right now. And then, 4 o'clock sun is setting. And I know some of you are probably further north than I am, but we're usually very rainy here in the Pacific Northwest, which means not a lot of sunlight. And so I just didn't know if it would keep things charged once we hit this time of year. And it has done phenomenal. I've actually been really impressed with all of the solar stuff. Like I think that at least the one that I have from Premier One Supplies, the way that they make their solar stuff now, it's kept itself recharged. I haven't had to recharge it at all. And we've had some very gray short days this time frame. So just kind of putting that out there, if anybody else was wondering the same thing or in the same type of location, they have worked really well.
Yeah. I would say as well, you mentioned having a good dog before. I guess it's good to say that some breeds are more chicken friendly than others. So you definitely might struggle more with dogs that are sort of fly there, like wired to sort of hunt like terriers and those kind of dogs. Having said that, I was laughing because we had someone there said, it says TT Proud Mary. So I don't know your first name. I'm guessing Mary says Great Pyrenees are amazing. And we got a Great Pyrenees puppy, Samson, who some of you might have seen on our Instagram, but he's in training right now. And I was saying to my husband, well, he seems to have got things back to front because he thinks the chickens are great to play with. And then he's best friends with every UPS driver that arrives in the driveway. I'm like, you've got this back to front. So yes, dogs do take training as well. I think they're a great help to protection against predators, but definitely be prepared to spend the time training them. It doesn't just happen automatically. Oh, well, maybe with some breeds there is more leniency towards that. But
yeah. Okay. Well, Pip claimed her prize, guys. So we've got one more for today. Remember, we're going to do 2 giveaways every day this week. So our second winner, I hope you're still on here, is Sally Wood. So Sally, if you are on here, Sally Wood, please email info@homesteaddocumentary.com that you are claiming your day 1 prize bundle and include your shipping address. So Sally Wood, shoot us that email. So while we're waiting for Sally to do that, to make sure that she's on here and is getting her prize claim so that we don't have to pick somebody else for today, we're going to go ahead and answer just a couple more questions. This was a good one from Christine Duffy, and it says, what are the ratios of male to females for the different types of birds?
Like the hatch rate?
I'm not doing, I'm not, that's actually a great qualifier, Hafsa. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that maybe she means like in your flock.
Oh, in your flock?
I think.
For chickens, it can vary. You can't go wrong having a ton of hens to one rooster, though. Some roosters might only need like 4 to 5. Some roosters might need a dozen hens. The more aggressive the rooster is, the more hens you need. And the way you know is when you have hens missing a lot of back feathers, either there's not enough hens or maybe that's just one of the favorites when they mate. Because if you don't know the process, the rooster jumps on top of the hen and basically hold her down. And sometimes they rip out the back feathers. So if they're doing it too much, then you'll know because you'll see a lot of hens missing back feathers. Not from molting, though, which is different. But I would say a dozen is a good number. And the smaller breeds, like silkies, for example, they usually don't need as many. They need maybe like a few. But the bigger the rooster, usually, better to have more hens.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. That's been my experience too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as well, like it's good, like there isn't just one hard and fast rule, because we have definitely seen different personalities between roosters. And then I know someone was mentioning drakes earlier, about how they can be pretty aggressive with female ducks. And when we made the decision to get a drake because we wanted to hatch our Cocky Campbells out. A lot of people were sort of, giving their experience and advice about why they would never have a drake on the homestead before. And actually we had the reverse, experience. He has been fantastic and not, aggressive at all with the females. Seems to kind of just like his one lady. But yeah, so I think it does really depend on, like, from animal to animal, they have sort of different personalities, and maybe the age might make a difference as well.
They all have personalities.
Yeah. And you don't have to have a male in order to get eggs. I mean, I know a lot of you know that, but if you're new to chickens and livestock, a lot of people don't know that. I mean, the poultry will lay eggs regardless. The male has to be present to fertilize the eggs if you want to be able to hatch out your own new flocks. So if that's not your goal and your plan, and when they're free ranging, I will say a rooster and probably a drake. We have female ducks. I've not had a drake on, so I can't say for that. Like the roosters can help protect. So if you're total free ranging, I know a lot of people will choose to keep a rooster more for the fact of protection for the flock than necessarily that they're wanting to hatch out. But even within that, there's different reasons for having the males, and you don't have to have them if egg production is your sole goal. But let's see. I am going to check. Sally. Okay, Sally is in work. She's still on here. So yay, Sally. Rachel's making sure she has the right email address there. So Sally is working on getting her prize claim. So we won't have any more giveaway winners today. But this is the very last question that we are going to, I think it's a great one. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. And then this live will turn into a recording on the YouTube channel. So this will be staying up, and we are doing a backup recording as well, but it should be right here for you. Just be able to go back and rewatch this for anybody. If you may have joined us a little bit later, you might have missed the beginning part, that type of a thing, or you want to come back. So that will be there for you. And we are really excited. So tomorrow is going to be season 2, episode 2. We'll be releasing tomorrow. And so we'll be building each day. And so really excited for that. We'll be back here at noon Pacific Standard Time, 1 Mountain, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, with the live portion, just like today, but with new guests and doing new giveaways and all of that kind of stuff. And then also talking about the topics. Today was obviously the gateway where we're talking a lot about poultry. And if you would like to get the season 1 and season 2 pass with all of the bonuses, we have some incredible bonuses that were donated and given to us by a lot of the content contributors or the featured homesteaders that you're going to be seeing in this episodes. They donated those to people who buy the season 1 and the season 2 pass, which is at the lowest price that it will ever be. So if you're thinking about that and want to grab those, you just go to homesteaddocumentary.com and you'll see more information there about grabbing that bundle and what's in the bonuses and what that includes. But we still want to answer one of your questions, and I think this was a really good one. And Brooke was asking about, and this is especially if you live in, if you have it like HOAs or you live in the city or you don't have as much space, and that is keeping odor down. Barbara said, having chickens close to the house, are there odors? I live in Iowa and cattle and hog lots have a horrid odor. I am a city girl and I'm just thinking about getting started in some minimal homesteading. So that is a great question. And there's lots of things that you can do is good news. So Hafsa, if you want to give your tips first, this is a great question to address.
Yeah, so the bedding in the coop is probably the biggest one. And keeping it clean as possible is going to help. Choosing bedding that is easy to turn over and easy to shift through. We use hemp bedding. It works amazingly with keeping the odor down. And then when you are ready to dump it out, you can use that in the garden as well. You can turn that into compost and have an open compost pile for that, further away from your house if you can, whatever the furthest spot is. So it's not like, 5-10 feet from your house. But those two things are probably going to be the biggest ones when it comes to chickens.
Yeah. And I'll say, like, we use the deep litter method. So part of this is going to depend on your climate. And so we just keep adding carbon. And for us, it's like, what can I get that is in my area? Maybe I have it on my homestead or is cheap. So this is going to look different for different areas and different parts and different situations, which is the whole goal of doing the Homestead documentary, right? Is we can just share all these different things with you and you can pick that is going to work for me in my situation. So, shredded leaves in the fall. And so the deep litter method, Joel Salatin explains it very well. Someone already mentioned Joel in here. And so you can go in and look at some of his stuff, but just in a brief is you're adding a lot of carbon. And as Hafsa mentioned with a compost pile is only stink if you don't have your green or your nitrogen to your brown carbon ratio correct. And they're really the same thing in your coop. So if you have too much poop, that's nitrogen. And chicken poop is very, very high in nitrogen because chickens, their urine and poop are together. And so it's very high and it can be very stinky. And so it's making sure you have enough carbon to soak that up. And then once it breaks down, as Hafsa said, it is like the best thing for your gardens as far as fertilizer go. It's really wonderful. But some things like straw can be a great way if you have access to straw. Sawdust can be really good. Dried leaves, if you have pine leaves, like anything that's brown like that can be, kind of shredded up that to help absorb that odor. And you're basically creating a living compost pile in the bottom of your coop. And they call it deep litter because during the winter time, depending on what your winters are, if you get a lot of snow and whatnot, you might not be able to get out there and really clean it out. And then the more of the carbon matter that you add in, that provides insulation and actually helps to keep your coop warmer in your run areas. So a lot of people will do that during the winter months. And then during the spring and summer and fall, they keep it just more cleaned out, but they just keep adding that carbon in to keep the smell down during the winter. And it kind of serves multiple purposes for the coop. But somebody was mentioning Joel in that method. And so I thought, I probably better jump into that a little bit and how that kind of works. So
yeah, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
We have pretty cold. We have, -5 degrees some nights. So in the winter, we're in the mountains.
That is cold.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so happy I have not experienced negative temperatures here. We've had single digits, but I've not had the negative. So I'm like,
We have
Yeah.
both extremes. We have 95 and -5. So
Yeah, that is some swings. Well, guys, we so loved having you on today. There have been so many great comments and great conversation going on. And Hafsa, we just can't thank you enough. And for those of you who already grabbed the bundle, because I see that some of you have, Hafsa actually has 2 bonuses in there. So Hafsa, do you want to just share real quickly what your 2 bonuses are?
yeah, so I have my resources on raising chickens, excited for chickens intro course, and the ebook also. The ebook is really comprehensive. It's over 100 pages. It's everything A through Z you would need to know on raising chickens. And then you have the course there as well, which is good to have videos of everything. And then the second resource that I have is for a new page that I recently started in the last few months, teaching people how they can monetize their social media and create an income from their homestead, because that's exactly what I did over the last 2 years. 2 years ago, I got started on Instagram. I didn't even know how to use it. And in my first year, I created a full-time income from it. And people were like, what? How did you do that? So I created an introductory course for other homesteaders to learn how they can take what they're already doing in their homestead and share it on social media and monetize that as well. So that's the second resource in there.
Okay, awesome. So guys, the resources that Hafsa just described, those are part of the bonuses that you get with the all access pass of purchasing the season 1 and season 2, which is at a super discounted price right now during our premiere week. So Hafsa, thank you so much for sharing those with us and your time today. Really appreciate it. And we can't wait to see your journey on finding your new homestead place and vet school. It's all gonna be really fun. So and your handle is up there, guys. So if you're not already following Hafsa on Instagram, you definitely will want to jump over to @Homestead Hafsa right there on Instagram and follow her account to continue down that story with her. So thank you so much, Carrie. Is there anything that I forgot? There probably is. It'd be a miracle if not.
I mean,
That you want to share before we sign off?
Yeah, I was just going to say, to echo how excited we are that so many people are here, and just to say, encourage you to share it with your friends and family. The link that is available for the free preview, we want you to share that. We want as many people to see it as possible. And part of our reason behind that is that we need a community to grow behind this, because what we want to do, our heart behind this, is to go forward with a season 3 after we've recovered from season 2 and to be able to tell more stories of farms and homesteads, whether they're just starting out or whether they have been homesteading for a number of years, whether they're homesteading in their small backyard, like on 0.2 of an acre, or a balcony, or in their basement, or whether they're on a ranch. We want to be able to keep putting your stories in front of the world and sharing how you're doing that. So share. That tells the algorithm that this content is important and you like it, and that's how we're gonna sort of go forward. So that's thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. We really do appreciate it. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow. So we'll be sending out episode 2 tomorrow morning. And so we hope you have a chance to watch that. And if you didn't get a chance to watch episode 1 yet, that will be up. So go back and grab that. And then episode 2 will release tomorrow morning. And then we'll meet you back here in the afternoon. And we're going to have all this fun all over again.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.